Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Pup. We are back for some more PPL action. This week we are playing against Gunk, who has not had the best of seasons so far, unfortunately, but they're still just a great battler, so we're going to have a really good time here. Right now we are chilling at, what's our record? I think we're 5-2 going into this. Pretty sure Gunk is 3-4. So they still have a lot to prove with their playoff hopes. One more win will definitely cement us in the playoffs. I'm pretty convinced that we will make the playoffs no matter if we lose out based on how other games have gone this week so far. So I'm pretty sure we're just locked, but I'd love to get the wins, get as high a seed as possible, because I can still get as high as the 1 seed in my division. I can still get as high as the 1 seed overall, honestly. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But let's just go straight over what teams are going to be for this week. So my team is going to be on screen. Gunk's will be as well, but let's go over what she has. They got a Deoxys speed, which is a massive threat, outspeeding everything on my team. Can basically just be 0 speed investment and still outrun even, some Scarfers on my side, which is pretty crazy. And it's a strong Pokemon too. Those Psycho Boosts are going to hit like a truck. I think Choice Specs is an option here, but I think Life Orb with mixed with like Superpower is honestly just better. But I think they can be like X-Scissor or Signal Beam to be a move that can hit my Zarude. I don't have a Dark type besides that Pokemon that kind of just gets leveled, and they can beat Azelf that way as well. I have like potential Treads, but that can get super powered. Klefki is maybe a Pokemon that they would have to click like a Fire Punch or something interesting into. But honestly, it just puts on so much offensive pressure into my team. They can also just be a Spikes variant. And my team, doesn't hate that at all. But they do have Spikes on Samurott as well that they might try to get up. But it's still a little bit annoying. It's not like the easiest to get my Cinderace into court change against this team. So we'll see what happens there. I also think it could totally be like a Calm Mind, Stored Power, Draining Kiss sort of thing. Or I think Cosmic Power. Yeah, Cosmic Power. Raise those defenses and kind of just go from there. I feel like that could be kind of nasty. Does get kind of beat by Zarude, depending on if they're Calm Mind or Cosmic Power. But I feel like both those options are, definitely likely in this game. And there's a Terra Annihilate. I haven't really gotten down the exact Terra type that they might want to be in this game. His Fairy makes sense into Como, but Como is always gonna have some sort of Terra option in this game. But Terra Fairy and Terra Poison are not good in this game in general. At least not great. Maybe Terra Poison could work, but they do have like an Excadrill and an Iron Boulder and stuff. So maybe they go Terra Fairy. I think Terra Water makes sense as well because they're able to take hits from like Cinderace and Aloe and kind of just boost up your Rage Fist that way. I feel like it could also be even like Terra Fighting because I don't have a Ghost type. They can be Choice Scarf, Terra Fighting. I think Choice Scarf from them does look really strong in this game. In that case as well, I don't have a normal type, so they can be Terra Ghost and click Rage Fist. And just kind of do those nasty things. I think Choice Scarf does look really strong to me in this game. I don't think Bulk Up is quite as good, but they can bulk up on stuff like Aloe, which is why I'm bringing Alluring Voice this week. So they have options there. They also have a Hisuian Samurott, like I talked about. You can get up Spikes, hits pretty hard with Sharpness, boosted attacks. It does have priority in Sucker Punch and Aqua Jet that we have to worry about. I'm just basically assuming that it's going to be Razor Shell, Ceaseless Edge, Sucker Punch, and Aqua Jet. But Flip Turn and Sacred Sword can both make their way onto this set. Sacred Sword honestly probably does make its way onto this set, potentially over Razor Shell in a lot of those scenarios. But we'll see what they end up bringing there. There's a Clefable. This Pokemon can also be set up. I think Calm Mind or Cosmic Power look really strong on Clefable because it doesn't have to worry about Zarude because it kind of just beats that thing if it is max Fizz stuff. It does have to worry about stuff like Treads though, which is why I think like a defense boosting variant makes a lot of sense. That's really my only Pokemon that threatens it. Potentially like I said, I could be like a Terra Poison Como, but that probably hits on the physical side, and it's definitely not hitting strong enough if they are able to boost up. So that's a big threat. They can also just be like more defensive Stealth Rock plus T-Wave, plus Wish or Healing Wish sort of thing. I think Healing Wish is honestly really strong for their team into the Annihilate. So we'll have to see what happens there. And they have Excadrill. This thing is boosted by Hippo's Sand, which I didn't really respect it as much in this game. I do have plenty of things that can take care of it, but I don't think it's that great into me because they are really forced to bring the hippo, which doesn't do very well into my team, and they're forced to be kind of sandrock on that thing, or else they don't do well into me in general. So I don't respect the Excadrill in the ways that maybe I should. It can hit very strong. It has lots of coverage options for my team, like X-Scissor, one-shotting Zarude. They do have like a Rock Slide. For Thundurus, they hit everything pretty hard except for my Como, which it doesn't even need to Terra, and it just kind of beats that thing 1v1, which is nice. Even if they Sword Stance, I'm only taking like 60% from Adamant Life Orb, I think, something like that, which puts me in a good spot. They also have an Iron Boulder, which is kind of does a lot of the same things that this Excadrill does, in this game specifically. This is what I expect, I guess. But Iron Boulder, just a strong physical attacker. I do have stuff like Aloe that can switch in if I'm physically defensive. Como as well. I can just Terra into something and take care of it. That's where like a Terra Fairy might make sense in those scenarios, although it does lose to Drill that way. So like Terra Water, I guess, could make a lot of sense there for me. But they don't hit me very hard in general. They would have to click like Zen Headbutt or Psycho Cut to be able to do super effective damage to my Zarude, or to my Como. Maybe I said Zarude before. But to my Como, since that is super effective damage, it still doesn't even do a lot if I'm physically defensive, because that's just how crazy Como is. They also have a Terra Moltres. Definitely expecting this to be the Terra of choice in this game, I think. I think this is really strong into my team because I have a lot of Pokemon that love to pivot around, love to click U-turn, flip turn, love to do all that sort of stuff. I think Terra Grass could make a lot of sense on this Pokemon because it's really one of their only ways to beat Basculin. It beats the Iron Treads decently well. And Flame Body, it beats the Zarude decently well. And Flame Body burning, all that stuff. It can also burn stuff like Cinderace. If I try to U-turn around with Cinderace, it can burn that with Flame Body and put me in nasty positions. So I definitely expect Moltres to be in this game. I think it should be their Terra of choice. And it's pretty annoying for my team to deal with at Terra Grass. I honestly don't have great answers to it at all, besides Cinderace, which they obviously don't have great answers into my Cinderace as well, but they have some resemblance of answers, especially if they do bring like Sand, Max Defense Hippo sort of stuff that might be able to deal with Cinder. And they have a Rotom Mow, another solid Pokemon in the matchup, but it kind of gets stomped on by Thundurus. I can definitely see its worth in this game, being able to Volt Switch around and also being able to punish Aloe, because Aloe looks really strong here. It's also able to take hits from Basculin, which looks really strong here. So I can definitely see that Pokemon coming. If they don't end up bringing it, I wouldn't be super surprised, because I feel like they might just want like all the crazy base stats of their top like 7 Pokemon in general. But yeah, it's a solid Pokemon for sure. Can like spam Will-O-Wisp versus my team, which is kind of annoying. Always takes like a hit from Zarude and puts me in a worse position. They also have a Dragalge, which takes a hit from everything on my team except for probably offensive Iron Treads. And it just drops Dracos. Sylveon gets clobbered by Sludge Wave. Adaptability boosted moves just hurt. But I do have a Klefki that absolutely walls this thing. They could bring it, be T-Spike, Flip Turn, Draco, Sludge Wave, and just Flip Turn on my Klefki every time. But it feels kind of bad if they're giving me like free spikes or free screens every time. So I don't think this Pokemon's likely to make it. It does do a ton of work into the team that I brought here though. Next is the Araquanid. I also think this Pokemon's quite likely in this game. I think they should be Water Absorb, and I think that they should be, Sticky Webs is not like the best thing for them. I feel like Sticky Webs can make a lot of sense. I feel like they should always be kind of boot spam on their team, at least like somewhat boot spam. But also like if I'm court changing away webs, then I'm giving their Annihilate Defiant, which puts me in a bad spot if they do end up being like the more defensive variant instead of Choice Scarf. But they should have boots on stuff like Boulder. They should have boots on stuff. Honestly, that's one of the big things that just needs it, because I'm going to be able to court change away spikes and the Sticky Webs here. But I think Water Absorb, just so they don't completely lose to Basculin, because Basculin just absolutely 6-0s this team if they don't bring Terra Water Annihilate or Terra, I mean, even like Terra Grass. Moltres doesn't love it because I can potentially click, you know, Rock Head boosted Head Smash into that Pokemon into it, KO it, so still could be in a good position. But yeah, I feel like they should be Water Absorb because they also take the Aloe hits. They can get healed up from me flip turning around. It kind of puts my Aloe in a terrible position. And they're able to, you know, liquidate down my team. It's not going to do quite as much. It's not going to do nearly as much, but I don't really have great Pokemon that break it at that range. And I don't think they should be Terra on that Pokemon, but they do want to be Terra. Like, Terra Electric is not bad here. Terra Ground is not bad as well. They also have a Hippo, another ground type. It does get destroyed by Basculin, but if they're going to bring Excadrill in an offensive variant, then it's obviously going to have Hippo on the team. I feel like that makes a lot of sense, but it's not very good into my team. It should just be like probably Whirlwind Slack Off, Earthquake, and like Ice Fang. I think it makes the most sense. Just try to, you know, chip my team down with the hazards that they're able to get and kind of keep Cinderace from court changing is the idea that I see from their squad there. Sorry, I'm tired. It's 11:20 in the morning. I should be totally fine. But yeah, and then Larvesta is the last Pokemon, which is just a nothing Pokemon. I could definitely see it being brought just for funzos, but it's not even Terra on their team, unfortunately. So yeah, let's get into what I'm bringing. So as I alluded to, Basculin absolutely destroys their team, so I'm going Basculin. We have the blue striped version this week because I do threaten to be Rockhead, but I'm just adaptability with Wave Crash, Aqua Jet, Flip Turn, and we have Psychic Fangs as well. Just in case we need to click that into the Dragalge. They can also potentially be screens on a lot of Pokemon on their team. I think Rotom, if that comes, can very likely be screens. Deoxys can be screens. Clef. I think those are the three like biggest options of screens, and being able to break those will be will put me in a good position. So we're fast enough to outrun actually like basically everything on their team besides Boulder, which gets put down by an Aqua Jet, and Deoxys Speed, which also gets put down by an Aqua Jet. So it puts me in a good position there. Next on the team is a Terra Water Iron Treads with a booster energy. So we'll always be able to outrun the Iron Boulder unless they are booster or Scarf of their own. But I'm making sure that I'm outrunning stuff like Scarf, Samurott. I'm outrunning Scarf, Rotom, Scarf, Annihilate, all that sort of stuff. I think it also puts me faster than some potential Dio Speed sets, which is really nice. We have Megahorn that one-shots Dio Speed. It does a ton of damage. Maybe one-shots the Samurott. Earthquake and Heavy Slam are really what we're clicking, and then Rock Slide as well is there for the potential stupid Moltres guy. That's annoying. I thought about putting Terra Water because I could spam that into Pokemon like the Hippo that are annoying for my team. But I thought Rock Slide was honestly just better because I can click that on more scenarios, because I feel like they have three really solid Terra Captains in this game. They may end up tearing the other guys, so I really want to make sure that I have a hit for the Moltres. Next up is going to be Zarude. We are Lumberry this week because I can get Flame Bodied, yes, but I can also get T-Waved by Clef or by Deoxys. I can get Will-O-Wisp by Rotom. I can get Will-O-Wisp by Moltres, all that sort of stuff. They can also have T-Spikes. Don't want to have to deal with any of that, so I'm just Lum in general. We're Power Whip, Knockoff, Encore, and Synthesis. Honestly, probably just spamming Power Whip into this team. The Moltres could be tough, but if I knock them off, then anytime that I'm able to court change over some Stealth Rocks, then I'm in a good position. That just puts them in a worse position in general. Knockoff is really strong here, but mostly just Power Whip through their entire team. They don't really have great resist besides that Moltres, and if the Moltres isn't there, then Power Whip just 6-0s their team, really. Obviously, they have a Rotom and a Dragalge that will each be able to switch in like once or twice. Yeah, probably once on the Rotom, probably twice on the Dragalge because they're going to be super defensive. But I destroy those things. They can never heal up or do anything because I have Encore, and I can always heal myself up with Synthesis. Fortunately, if they do have the weather up, then we're going to be healing only a quarter. But it mostly puts me in better positions to beat stuff like Samurott. If they're choice locked in, I'm able to Synthesis on that when they're ceaseless edging or flip turning or that sort of thing. That's kind of the idea, and then I'm able to Encore like the Clef or Encore the Annihilate, those sort of Pokemon. We also have a Alomomola here, fully defensive. Well, I mean, max defense, max special defense, because that's just the best way to run Aloe. But we are physically defensive in this game. Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, Alluring Voice, and Wish. It'll be really nice to be able to pass wishes to basically everything on my team. It's mostly for the Como that's in the back, but it can also be really nice for Zarude, Treads, even Basculin if I'm taking so much recoil damage. Alluring Voice makes sure that the Annihilate can't set up on me for free because they just get confused. And, you know, maybe they pop their Terra there, and then my Iron Treads just looks better in the late game. Or if they do end up being like Terra Water, which is annoying for my team, then Zarude just absolutely blows it back. So it puts me in a good position. I can Flip Turn out. Aqua Jet's really nice to be able to, you know, take care of stuff like Tread or Boulder or Excadrill that can really sweep my team. Even like Focus Sash version of Deoxys Speed could be really annoying. So being able to hit that thing and destroy it is really nice. With our IVs, I'm pretty sure that I'm 1 speed slower than no speed invested Hippo, but I should still be faster than the Araquanid and the Dragalge. That's kind of the idea there. Obviously, any of those Pokemon can run speed investment in this game. But if they come, not really expecting them to be speed invested. I think they have a lot more mileage, not even trying to creep at all. And creeping to that weird number is also odd. So I feel like that doesn't make sense. So they were probably going to be creeping, like if they're going to be creeping my Aloe at all, they're going to be creeping up to its no speed, which is a lot of speed investment for them. Make sure that I'm able to, you know, beat them a lot easier. Next up, we have a Heavy Duty Boots Cinderace here with Libero. I really thought about making this Pokemon Blaze, just so I can spam U-turn without getting burned by Moltres. But we end up just being Court Change, Pyro Ball, Gunk Shot, Willow. Willow is really nice to click in front of like Hippo, Excadrill, all of those sorts of things. It's pretty free versus their team, especially if I do end up like Court Changing or Gunk Shotting and switching my typing. Then I'm not going to get one shot by those guys anyways. Puts me in a better position. And I can also potentially burn Araquanid if I expect them to be Water Absorb, which will just put me in a lot better position. Because I think they should be Water Absorb over Water Bubble, which would make them immune to burn. So I can at least like gauge that with that Pokemon. But yeah, basically we have a lot of special defense investment. I'm pretty sure I take a modest Psycho Boost. I don't think I take modest Life Orb. I think modest Life Orb Psycho Boost is a roll. I think I always take no boosting item modest Psycho Boost from Deoxys. I think I also take Timid Lorb most of the time. I think that's what that's for. Then I'm able to, you know, click Pyro Ball, click Court Change, do whatever, put myself in a good position there. And Gunk Shot on this also covers for Terra Fairy and Annihilate, which I think is likely. Terra Fairy on any of their Terras can be pretty likely. And then the last Pokemon on the team is kind of the glue that pulls everything together. It's going to be Como with a Pyapa Berry, making sure that we take half damage to any Psychic move. So we can't get destroyed by any of the Iron Boulders, unless they do end up flinching me with the Zen Headbutt. Pretty sure I even live +2 crit Psycho Cut, which is nice, from full, obviously. More Draco Meteor, Iron Head, Roar, and Earthquake. Making sure that we're able to roar out the Annihilate. I'm always able to eat hits from that Pokemon. I'm able to roar out or Earthquake against the Boulder or the Excadrill, do a lot of damage to those Pokemon. Iron Head with Terra Steel threatens the Clefable. If they force me to Terra, it puts me in a worse position versus both the other Pokemon, so I'm never expecting to Terra this Pokemon. But, you know, seeing that and the fact that I have Iron Head, I can use it in a pinch if I need to, but it also can put me in a good position. So yeah, this Pokemon is just a really solid versus their team. I'm mixed attacking, obviously, so Draco Meteor hits their team pretty hard. Making sure that I'm able to do like massive damage against stuff like Samurott or Rotom, Dragalge, those sort of things, while also, you know, keeping Iron Head and Earthquake to be able to hit the Pokemon that I'm meant to check in this game. And making sure that I'm just not a sitting duck versus everything else. It also is really nice to have Draco versus the Hippo, because we can get in positions where I check their Excadrill, or I soft check it at least, but they would just want to go out to Hippo because they can, you know, kind of do damage to me, stall me out, because I'm not overcoat in this game. Maybe I should have been, for sure, over Bulletproof. but who cares really? But they can do some chip damage to me. They can, potentially get up extra sand. They can do all that. So being able to threaten that thing with Draco Meteor was kind of the idea with this Pokemon. And yeah, so this is the team. Very creative this week. Like the Como, the Cinderace, these sets are like, maybe not like super creative, but their EV spreads are kind of convoluted and everything. So I took a little bit of pride in this. These last couple of teams, I did not build with like very much help from front office or anything. Kind of just like winged them in like 2 hours span, no mocks, no anything. So hopefully we're going to be able to capitalize in this game. Like I said, I am basically locked for playoffs at this point. I'm pretty sure I should always be locked. No matter what, I will, I either need 1 win out of these last 2 weeks or 0 wins, and I'm going to get one, and hopefully we'll get it today. That's going to be the team. Hope you guys do enjoy the battle and all the PPL content. Please be sure to leave a like and sub. Trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the year, and we're so close. Just 11 more people. I know there's 11 of you unsubscribed out there. Just hit that button for me. It'll be really nice when we hit that. Yeah, that's going to be about it. Let's go straight to the game. What is good, peoples? We back with some more PPL after an unfortunate loss last week. But we're fighting against Gunk, who has a Terra Fairy Ape. We got Terra Water Treads and Terra Steel Como. Their team is actually so interesting to me. The Boulder makes a lot of sense. I really thought Araquanid was going to be such a pain for my team, but I'm glad to not see it. Moltres not being here is nice, and then no Dio Speed is also great. So I'm actually, pretty happy about what we see here. I think my Como is a solid lead, but I could also save it for later in the game because it is solid to be able to roar stuff out. Their Terra Fairy is just a little bit annoying for that. But I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I have options. I have options for sure. Do I think they're going to lead with Samurott? Do I think Clefable? Do I think either the ground types, right? Those are kind of the options that I see. I think those make the most sense for sure. I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to lead with the Basculin. The Basculin's really good here. So if we see them lead into Samurott, then I'm just hard swapping. Potentially, I haven't decided which would I rather swap into Como or Aloe. Because Como easily takes those hits. But Aloe also takes it and would break potential Sash on the Ceaseless. But I can also just Court Change versus them, which puts me in a good spot. Ego Death is totally fine here. This Pokemon may be Choice Scarfed, right? Let me think about that. Annihilate. If they ended up being Choice Scarf here, right? What's the play? Because my Choice Banded Wave Crash to max HP has a roll to just like straight up knock this guy out. I don't know. And I boost your Rage Fist. Here's the unfortunate thing if I just flip. I think a hard swap out to Aloe is not bad here. I don't think it's bad. I don't want to just straight up lose to this guy on the spot because I definitely can. But seeing you lead it makes me feel like you're Scarfed or something. I'm going to make the Aloe play here. It might be a bad play. It definitely might be. But I'm just seeing. They're just going to Drain Punch me. That did a decent bit. That did definitely a decent bit. Let me see. Drain Punch from no attack invested. That did 472 minus 388. That would do... I did divide. 84 damage. It's looking like no attack investment. So definitely could be Scarfed. I think I could just flip. I also kind of like doubling out to Como here. Because I don't think you're very Terra Blasting. But also, if you just go for Bulk Up, then Alluring Voice is really nice. Is the idea. And they don't love switching into Alluring Voice here. I'm going to Alluring. We do see Bulk Up. Okay. So they're going to be +1/+1. Yeah, I mean, this thing also could be Covert Cloak. Right? Are you going to be cloaked? No, you're not. Beautiful. That is great for me. So yeah, now at +1, Rage Fist is boosted as well. This Pokemon's like the bane of my existence. I hate this guy so much. I mean, I can Alluring Voice again. I think Flip Turn makes a lot of sense as well. I think Flip Turn's probably my best option. I don't have any special attackers in this game, unfortunately. But if they do end up Terra-Fairing this turn, then I can go out to Cinderace. So I'm just going to flip. They are going to stay in without tearing. They're going to hit themselves. That's nice for me, but we are going to boost their Rage Fist again, which is the scary part about this. Now, +1 at this range, does Basculin knock you out? I feel like there's a solid chance we do. There is a really solid chance that we do. I think that's my best play, is honestly just to go out to Basculin. Yeah, actually, they're just max HP. We always knock them out here. So it's just Wave Crash. And I'm always faster than this thing. And this just is a billion% to anything on their team. They cannot switch into this. The best they could do is go Samurott, which takes so much. Them hitting themselves in confusion was pretty clutch there. But I think no matter what they did there, I was kind of fine. Okay, you just straight up die. So Basculin picks up the first KO on their Terra Captain. That Pokemon was a massive threat. A Pokemon that I hate going up against. So I'm definitely happy about that. I'm definitely very happy about that. If they go Boulder, I will just go out to Como, is always the play. If they go Samu is what I'm expecting. Yeah, Samu comes out. I can pretty freely go Aloe. I feel they don't have the same like setup threats to beat Aloe. The only thing is the Clefable, obviously, but I can Terra Steel and roar that thing. But also just like Heavy Slam from Dreads hurts. So yeah, I'm just making this play every time. Samurott Hisui versus my Aloe. Yeah, it is just gonna be ceaseless. It does like 130 something. 130 something, right? Let me check my math. Minus 339. Yeah, 133. That can be max Adamant. Can that be max Jolly? It could be. It could be either. I think the play for me is just always to Flip Turn here. They're going to get their double Ceaseless off, which is fine. I'm just going to flip. I mean, I can go Cinderace if I really want. And I always live, and I can just freely click Court Change versus this guy. Because I don't mind playing with hazards. I think they mind it a lot more than I do. I could also go Zarude. And Zarude just kind of gets a KO. I probably click Knock. I mean, they could be Secret Sword, right? So I would have to worry about that. Zarude is super nice versus their team. I think I go Zarude, and I just am going to Power Whip. Because if you're Scarfed, then you just like Ceaseless Edge again, and that's fine. Yeah, we just Power Whip here. You don't have a good switch. I don't think like Fizdef Clef doesn't want to take this. Whim, this is gonna be Clef. Yeah, I really wish I was U-turn. Oh my goodness. My goodness, man. That is not physically defensive at all. That thing just dies to another Power Whip. That thing just straight up dies here. So I'm clicking it. I'm just straight up clicking it. I'm very surprised to see them not like have a Terra Moltres in this game because I thought it was really good. Also, if I do end up missing this, as long as they're not offensive, which I don't think they are, they probably could be, but I probably don't die to their Moonblast unless they're like super offensive. Yeah. Oh, they're protect. Okay, cool. That shows defensive anyways. Even if they were offensive, it's actually a role very much my favorite to live. But here I could encore them if I liked. And honestly, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a pretty free power whip. The only thing is like preserving the PP on it. Oh no, I got 16. Yeah, it's just another power whip. Yeah, we hit. Clef is gone. Okay, beautiful. That's so good for me. I need to see what kind of damage like a Boulder Close Combat is doing. Boulder Close Combat, unless they're banded, I always live. Unless they're banded, I always live. I guess they could be booster attack as well. They're not booster, which makes me feel like it could be banded. If they're adamant banded, I don't think they can afford to be adamant. Let me see Jolly banded close combat here. It's a guaranteed KO. I think it makes the most sense for me to just stay in and knock off this Pokemon because I am worried about his Sword Stance. I could pretty freely go Como if I wanted to, though. I do have a Treads that beats this thing. Do I need this Pokemon? I definitely don't. I definitely don't, although it's really nice. I think what I should do is I should go out to Como here. Because after 2 layers of spikes, if they end up getting +2 with like Zen Headbutt or whatever psychic move, yeah, I'll always live and I can just roar them. So the play is always to go Como. I'm physically defensive for a reason. Yeah, I mean, I hate taking the 2 spikes, right? But it should be okay. As they do close combat. And they do not do very much. They don't do very much. Was that banded? It's hard to tell. After 2 layers of spikes, I don't... It could have been. It honestly could have been. So I can Earthquake here, which is a solid play because it hits this. But the Hippo can come in. I can Draco Meteor, which I think is fine. I think Roar is also fine. And -1 on the defense, Earthquake has a good role to knock them out here. I will Earthquake. If they go Hippo, that's fine. Yeah, they're going to draw. It also could be Samu. I don't think it's going to be Samu. Yeah, this is going to be Hippo. Yeah, okay. Boudon. Yeah, obviously they got an Excadrill. And we're going to do nothing. Which is fine. But... I mean, they don't do very much to me. I can court change the hazards. I've got Aqua Jet in the back. And Booster. And stupid Alomomola. I think I'm just going to Draco Meteor this... I think I'm going to Roar here. If I Roar and it brings in the Excadrill, is that an issue? I don't think so. Okay, I also just don't know if Roar is the best play in general, actually. I feel like a better play might just be going Hard Zarude. I think I'm going to go Hard Zarude here. Because I could very easily attack this guy. If they make the double out into Excadrill, that's a great play from them. Even if this Pokemon has Ice Fang into me, I'm not worried. The Sandstorm damage and spikes are annoying for sure. But I get a Power Whip. So they just Earthquake, so that's great. Yeah, they don't do too much. And Ice Fang will 2-hit KO me here, but it won't knock me out with the whatever. I mean, I feel like Power Whip makes a lot of sense here. I could also just Encore them. I'm just going to Power Whip. It's so free. It's so free. I'm still worried about this drill, right? But, yeah. Oh my goodness. What damage, man. And they just Whirlwind me out. That's fine. That is totally fine. I would love to get Cinderace in here, honestly. Aloe's fine as well. Because I just flipped versus this guy. I have weird IVs. So I underrun this guy, unfortunately. Honestly, I could just Wish here. I think wishing actually has a lot of merit. Because I wish and then I flip turn the next turn. I get my Como back to full. And we'll see what the speed looks like here. Because I do think I'm underspeeding them. If they're like minimum speed, then I won't be. So that'll be fine. I could have easily gotten rid of this guy as well on this turn. Even an Aqua Jet looks like it guaranteed knocks them out based on that power-up damage. Looks like they're not defensive at all. Yeah, they're just going to slack off. So they are faster, which I love. I think we're going to see just like a Whirlwind on this turn, honestly. So part of me wants to just like stay in and click. I mean, I guess I can flip turn. And we'll be after them, so I can go like Cinderace. Okay, so they are going to be Whirlwinding here, so that means I'm going Cinderace. I'm going Cinderace. Just makes the most sense here. We're stalling out those turns. I go Ace. We're heavy duty boots on this turn. I know Whirlwind's coming out, so I get something healed up. If this is... The only bad thing is that if this is Treads... Okay, we get Aloe back, which is fine. Like, we're healing myself up. I'm stalling their Sandstorm out, which is nice. Yeah, this is totally fine. I think I'm just going to Wish again. Wish into Flip Turn is perfectly fine. They're going to set up their Stealth Rocks now. But then on this Flip Turn, like, if they attack me first... Like, it's going to be the same thing. Just until I get Cinderace in. Because as soon as I'm able to get Cinderace in, then I'm just super able to Court Change. And then I'm in a great position. I also definitely could Sack. And it's looking like this is going to be the Rock. Not Dwayne the Rock, but like the Sand Rock. And I definitely feel like they... Okay, I was thinking they had a chance there to potentially go out to Excadrill. And now I have two options. A really fun option is going Basculin and just blowing this thing up. Because that guaranteed gets me a KO. I can go Como, and it's just like a safe play. Because I get so much health back. Same with Zarude. I mean, Zarude is really free. Okay, yeah, let me Zarude. Let me Zarude here. Like, I think Basculin makes a lot of sense there because I can get the free KO. But keeping this thing healthy is really nice. Yeah, we get this Wish back. We're getting so much HP. And Power Whip is a KO on this turn. How many turns of Sand do they have? Just one. So they're kind of forced to sack on this turn. I could double out Cinderace. Alright, I could double out to Cinderace. I just literally kill everything here. I'm just going to Power Whip, though. You stay in so good for me. Okay, they live, unfortunately. So they Whirlwind me out. It's fine. Just bring me Cinderace. Bring me Ace, and I'll be happy. Bring me Ace, and I'll be really, really happy. They bring me Basculin, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. The Sand is gone here. So, I mean, I really just get free KO with Wave Crash now. I think what makes the most sense for me here is to Flip Turn. I mean, Wave Crash is nice. Maybe I misplayed by not healing up my... maybe I misplayed by healing up the Zarude instead of Como. Oh well. I'm going to flip here. If you end up switching out here and going like Samurott, then it's interesting because I like could freely Court Change, right? But this guy should probably come in on the Court Change. I don't think that matters that much. They are going to preserve it. I think Samurott's coming out here. Yep, Samurott comes out. I do also think that this Pokemon is Choice Scarfed. And I can definitely check that out by going Zarude right now. I feel like Zarude does check that out, but I also just freely go Aloe here. I feel like Aloe makes a lot of sense. I'm getting into this scary position where my team is very, very weakened. Because we take all these hazards, right? Yeah, I think I'm just going to flip here. Because if you Ceaseless, then it's very, very free to go out to Cinderace. Okay, you're going to get the sand up, which is fine. You also don't know that I have Jet at this point. But I'm going to flip turn. I'm going to go Basculin. I think Basculin lives some hits. The spike into Stealth Rock into Sandstorm here. It's actually going to be really close. But the nice thing is that I get the freest Aqua Jet off the next turn. It has a chance to Oko Excadrill, which is the idea. It forces them to go out to the other guy. But I could save it for after if I'm not certain that the Sandstorm here. Yeah. Let me go out to Como. Because Como, what it does here is it prevents them from setting up because I just spam Roar on this turn. I just Roar every single time. So if this is Excadrill coming out, it's totally fine. I end up going Overcoat. I thought about it, but we weren't Overcoat. They're going to go Drill. So if this thing wants to potentially SD, it's fine with me. I'm just roaring you out. And I'm spamming Roar until I die. You just Earthquake. That's fine. So you're going to pick up a KO there. Basculin can knock this Pokemon out. It doesn't have to. They're Life Orb. Okay. Life Orb versus my Alomomola. After 2 spikes and a Stealth Rock and the Sand. If this is Sand Force, they still don't KO me. So I flip turn. And then next time I come out, I Aqua Jet this Pokemon. If they SD here, that's okay. You do click Swords Dance. Yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, we do just a massive amount of damage there. Does Basculin live here is the big thing, right? I so wish I was Sucker Punch. Okay, we're at 125 out of 281. It's 44%, so each layer of spikes Pokemon damage. I just want to make sure. 2 layers deals 16%. Is 1 out of 6. Okay. Times 5 over 6. And then Stealth Rocks is 8. And then Sandstorm, I'm pretty sure I live. I definitely could die. I think, yeah. I think we live this. Yeah, beautiful. Looks like I live 1 more as well. So I just Aqua Jet every time. Or Choice Banded Basculin, this thing always dies. If they want to go Samurott, that thing is going to die anyways, and they give me another free KO versus their team. The Boulder is still scary, though. I do have Aloe. That can probably just deal with it. And I have Terra Water on my Treads. So Terra Water Treads actually just beats that Pokemon. What are you going to do here, Excadrill? Maybe Samurott doesn't die here. I'm actually curious. Okay, they do withdraw, so they make the right play. Yeah, they do go out to the correct Pokemon here. And they don't die, unfortunately. We're going to live this Sandstorm hit right here. I mean, and if I get the court change off, then I'm still living. And then Basculin wins. I want to check how many turns. You've got a couple more turns because we know that you're the Rock. I really want to go Zarude here. I mean, what's the right call? I think you're forced into water move here. I guess if you water move, I could just go Aloe. I could just go Aloe. I think you're going to Ceaseless, actually. You could also Sucker Punch. I'm going Zarude here, because if I do end up getting these hazards cleared, then we keep Basculin alive, and Basculin Aqua Jet sweeps. But we might take 1,000,000,000% here. They're just going to knock off my Lumberry. If you're Scarfed, then I will die, I believe. Yeah, as you live this turn, which is fine with me. I think I kind of want to die. No, I can't even say that. They've got 3 turns left. So sacking this is going to be 1 turn. Sacking Basculin is 2 turns. Sacking anything else is another turn. I think I'm fine here no matter what. I'm just going to click knockoff here. Okay, they are not Scarfed. Oh, they are Scarfed. Never mind. So we're going to get double down here. It's just funny because I clicked knockoff as well. So I just wasn't even thinking about it like that. And then I think what I do here is I go out to Treads, and I get my Terra off, because versus Iron Boulder guaranteed dies. Excadrill will die and can't knock me out, because they're not Air Balloon or anything. With Sand Rush and Sand, they are faster. But yeah, they never knock me out. So we just go out to Skirt here. And it can probably take out the last 2. Yeah, we just Terra Water. I'm taking spikes, I'm taking stones. I'm a little curious about a crit here from Life Orb. I think a Life Orb crit knocks me out. It definitely does. I still think I'm fine in that scenario. But I just Terra Water here. Terra Water Treads is just beautiful for me. I guess they can Iron Head here if they really want. I think still I end up winning that scenario. I didn't really think about them flinching. They do just Earthquake. Just don't. Okay. They did not crit me this time like we got crit last week to lose the game. They could very well be Choice Scarfed on the guy in the back. And if they're Choice Scarf, then it's scary, doesn't it? I think Aloe would beat them. I think they're banded. I think this guy's banded. I just Earthquake here every time. I guess you could be Shucka as well, but then Aqua Jet would knock you out on the turnaround. Like, are you Scarfed? And if you Scarf into anything but Mighty Cleave, then it's just over for sure. Because I go Cinderace and I Court Change. Okay, you are Scarfed into Mighty Cleave. Now, this is where it gets scary. This is definitely where it's scary. Okay. Iron Boulder is Scarfed into Mighty Cleave. Choice Scarf. I mean, they don't really do very much to Aloe. They really don't. They basically do nothing to Aloe. I just flip turn and sack. That makes the most sense. I just flip turn. They're going to cleave. Yeah, they're going to take helmets. They're going to take this flip turn damage and take 1 billion. Yeah, I think they're in jet range after 1 hit. I'm curious if Cinderace ever lives this. It definitely does not. I really wish I was the whatchamacallit. I wish I was Sucker Punch. It would have been super great for this game. But we just sack our Basculin here. So there's no way I'm able to court change. I just go Aloe, and I flip turn again. I just want to make sure I don't die to a crit Mighty Cleave here. And if I do, I just sack the Cinderace. I take 217 max. Yeah, I take 217 max. Technically the better play is just Aqua Jet every time. Because I think they die to Helmet here. Yeah, they don't even crit me. I think they died there to Helmet, right? Beautiful. So we pick up a nice 2-0 victory. Aloe is really clutch. I know I haven't brought it very much this season, just because it's easy to take advantage of. But as soon as we got Annihilate out early in the game, it just made it so nice. So they weren't able to set up. Obviously, them hitting themselves in confusion on like that turn 2 or whatever was really strong for me. I don't think it really mattered in the scheme of things, unless they're like resting there. But I don't know. They could have been Resto Chesto and put me in a worse position. I don't think it was ever like really that brutal for me. Because I could always, I mean, it would have made stuff harder for sure. But they played a really good endgame there. Definitely playing to their outs. I always lived that crit. And Aqua Jet into that always knocked them out anyway. So I was pretty safe. But yeah, I'm really happy with how I played that one. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We are now 6-2, which means we're for sure in the playoffs. So I'm loving that. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.